Okay, so moving on, our next presenter is Lynn Wood. She's the Chief Idea Spy at Idea Spies, Australia. She will be talking about ideas and innovation for a sustainable future. So over to you, Lynn.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Javier.
Yes, thank you.
Just put on my screen.
Perfect. Yes, we can see that.
Okay, you can hear me? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, as we all know, the world is undergoing a new revolution that's often called the fourth industrial revolution or Industry 4.0. But at Idea Spies, we call it the ideas revolution because it's encouraging many new ideas to be created and commercialized. Idea Spies itself was created as a global idea sharing platform to share innovation and to inspire action. See up here. As you said, I'm the founder of Idea Spies and the Chief Idea Spy. And in my presentation, I'll show you up to 3 ideas in each category of Idea Spies, particularly related to sustainability. There are over 3,000 ideas and innovations on Idea Spies to choose from, so the choice was not easy. So I'll start with the agriculture category. And here we're going to look at multiple cropping. A way to grow more food on the same piece of land is for farmers to practice this multiple cropping, defined as growing multiple crops sequentially within a year. A CSIRO study found that increasing multiple cropping in suitable areas could lead to up to 30% more global food production without using additional agricultural land. For those who don't know, the CSIRO is Australia's premier scientific research organisation, and you can see many ideas and innovations from them if you search up here CSIRO on Idea Spy. So the next category I'll talk about is AI, and I'm going to mention 3 ideas from there because it's an important stream at this forum. So while it's a separate category on Idea Spies now, we recognise that the majority of idea categories will include it in future, so there'll be no need to list it separately. So we'll first go to regulations and how they're affected. A review of the New South Wales regulatory framework using AI in Australia found that there's a significant opportunity to simplify the regulatory compliance framework. If New South Wales saved 5% in compliance costs, it could realise a net benefit of up to $4 billion in savings and maybe pass that on to rate holders. Hopefully they would do that. A very different AI idea now. We're going to look at post-war construction. An exhibition combining photography and 3D projection mapping with AI in China has showcased some of the cities that have been decimated by war. Now, this method could help in urban planning by incorporating both the past and the future into designs that are more responsive to people's needs. And next, we're going to look at an innovation in England that is compulsory. But I actually saw this on a BBC program on TV where, as Idea Spies, we're all looking out for ideas. You can see on our About page up here who's involved in Idea Spies, but we have editors of various idea categories all looking out for ideas. And this is an interesting one. They're all really good. We all love them all, but it's interesting because I saw it on TV. In England, it's compulsory to wear a mask on public transport and in stores due to COVID-19. This AI device has been invented to detect whether someone is wearing a mask or not, and if not, restrict entrance to a store. When in Australia, when people were not allowed to go into stores without masks, when we had that sort of arrangement, there were arguments and people were not very happy with the sales staff. This circumvents that. It's quite clever. Now on to the artistic, and we're going to go to China again, and we're going to look at the Qin Museum. Now this museum's in the ancient city of Xi'an in China, and it covers the mausoleum of the first emperor of China with a total area of 2 million square meters. It houses the Terracotta Army, a collection of terracotta sculptures depicting the armies of the first emperor of China. The museum has initiated a digital transformation plan in response to the changing demands of customers in the digital age. The initiative focuses on leveraging emerging technologies, including augmented reality, Internet of Things, and facial recognition to satisfy modern expectations in an increasingly digital world. They provide more opportunities for audiences today to get to know the underground army that is guarding the first emperor of China. And I've been there. It's remarkable. It's wonderful. It has been discovered. But you see, each of these soldiers is individually crafted to represent an individual soldier of that time. So it's really, really quite remarkable. And if you haven't been there, or if you can't get there, it's great now that you can see it through this digital exhibition that's been created. Now, climate, I was just asked to create a climate category on IdeaSpice only recently, and it's very topical, as we all know, particularly in relation to carbon. Now, a tool has been created, and you can see here, Sydney. This was Sydney during our bushfires. That's how bad the atmosphere was during our bushfires against what it normally is, which is back there now. And a tool has been developed to provide environmental managers and researchers with new information about pollution, which will produce a better understanding of the role it plays in climate change. It was designed and built at ANSTO in Sydney to measure the concentration of carbon in the atmosphere and determine its source, and is now commercially available at ANSTO, or from ANSTO, which is Australia's Nuclear Science and Technology Organisation. You can actually go on a tour there. I have been a few years ago. I went on a tour there. You can see their carbon dating and how they do it in the ice areas. Quite fascinating what they have out there, and well recommended. If you come to Australia, you can actually visit it. When you can come to Australia. Now to dining, and we're going to look at humanoids. Now, a restaurant in the Netherlands has humanoid robots that welcome patrons, take their temperature, and serve drinks. While robots have been around for some time now without much success in hospitality, the higher demand for contactless experiences could become an opportunity for the advanced manufacturing industry. Energy, a very hot topic now. And we're going to look at green steel. I saw that earlier in this forum, we're talking about green hydrogen. This is a step forward. Swedish steelmaker SSAB has announced a joint venture to develop green steel, the world's very first fossil-free, iron-based steelmaking process. The byproduct created when using fossil-free electricity and hydrogen instead of coke and coal in steelmaking is water instead of carbon dioxide. That's very positive. It's water instead of carbon dioxide. So Australia could soon be exporting sunshine in the form of renewable energy produced hydrogen. And the speaker was talking about that a facility that's being built in Western Australia earlier in the forum. The Shell is also planning a wind-powered hydrogen plant in Rotterdam. FinTech now, that's also a new category on Idea Spies because so much is happening in that space. And we're going to look at investing in women. Now, nearly 1 billion women globally don't have access to formal financial services, even a basic bank account. Traditionally, lenders ask for house or land as collateral for business or personal loans. In some cultures, this collateral is owned by the male, immediately excluding women and future entrepreneurs. Women's World Banking in the US is working with organizations on financial instruments that reduce the vulnerability and exclusion of women. You can see here, and I should mention that we actually talk about each idea in 100 words or less with a link for more information. So we try and ensure that all the ideas and innovations that we post on Idea Spies are very easily understood, quite unlike having a publication with long articles. The long article might be in the link. Now, governance. We'll have a look at a citizens' assembly. I created this category late last year, and the editor has been a chair on major organizations, and he's now very, very keen on following ideas that will enhance democracy. And this has become very, very topical around the world. And he's very keen on this particular idea. Now, a recent Ipsos poll conducted in 14 countries found that 2/3 of citizens consider the climate crisis to be as serious as COVID and want their governments to prioritize climate action in the economic recovery. The lockdown has caused many to reflect on what's important, and for the first time in living memory, the whole world slowed down. Cars, planes, and people. Much of the rushing now around seems unnecessary, and we've had a glimpse of a better world, quieter, cleaner, and greener. So this year in France, President Macron announced a $24 billion program in response to a citizens' assembly on climate change. 150 people deliberated. They were all very specially chosen through a random process. They deliberated for 6 months on environmental issues to say what needs to be done, and the French government is taking action. So that's a model that the rest of the world could use in terms of governance. Healthcare, also very, very important. So I'm going to look at 2 ideas there. The first one about microbots. Now, scientists at Cornell University in the US have tackled one of the most pressing problems in micro-robotics, getting robots to move in a controllable manner. The team was able to simultaneously jigger the legs of a battalion of microbots in a coordinated march. We'll use your imagination here, but this opens the door for the last 50 years of microelectronics research to be incorporated into robots so small that they can't be seen by the human eye. And potentially they'll be able to move through your body. It's remarkable. This is another one concerning the lungs. And this is a video. We have videos on Idea Spies as well as images to represent ideas. So hospitals around the world can now get VR tech for free if they are seeking to navigate into a COVID-19 patient's lungs. A 360-degree virtual reality fly-through can show the extent of damage to the lungs from COVID-19 in yellow. It was developed by the George Washington University Hospital in the US. I won't play it now, but you can play it later if you search lungs on IdeaSpy. It's very interesting when you go into that person's lungs and you can see the yellow and how it starts to coagulate as you go through the different chambers of the lungs. Very scary to show you what can happen, but it's good to know, and it's great that they're providing this VR tech for free. Inclusion is an important topic now. Socially, people talk about it quite frequently. We're going to look at headsets. Now, an English school is using VR headsets to help autistic children who are non-verbal navigate situations like visiting a shopping mall or getting on a plane. Now, this can reduce their anxiety in handling what for many are everyday events. But the headsets can also be used, of course, to help children enjoy experiences like deep sea diving or skiing. Now to industrial, sea bins. Love the subheading here. It says, rubbish bins on land, sea bins in the water. It's by our industrial editor. Now, you can see that the sea bin initiative will see a service fleet of sea bin units in Sydney Harbour. Now, starting with 20 units in multiple Sydney Harbour locations, it's estimated that in 12 months, 28 tonnes of microplastics, marine litter and plastic fibres will be removed by filtering 4.3 billion litres of water from the harbour. Very positive, and this is an Australian invention. Up to not-for-profit. And I was a few years ago a director or non-executive director on Save the Children, and I'm really, really pleased to see them come up with this idea that could potentially be very successful worldwide. So Save the Children Australia have succeeded in achieving a major milestone in closing a $6 million round for a new impact investment vehicle that will support education in terms of educate, health and fintech companies supporting disadvantaged children and their families. This is a first for Save the Children globally, and one that could be replicated in other countries. So you might find it in your country in the future, hopefully. Now, there are many startups, obviously, on IdeaSpy. It's a big category. Look at an interesting one involving seaweed, because that's very much connected with sustainability. Now, FutureFeed, with this innovation, is a startup that's developed a supplement based on seaweed in feed for dairy and beef cattle. It's made headlines across the industry as research trials in Australia and the US have found it can reduce methane emissions in beef and dairy by more than 80%. So finally, we're getting on to well-being, and you can't look at well-being without looking at social media. Now, the social media giants are arguably operating without competition and regulation. Now, they have a lot of positive benefits in connecting people, but they're also causing anxiety in users as well as divisions in society. And a Netflix documentary called The Social Dilemma has started a conversation about these concerns. That's well worth watching on Netflix. A key tip that they offer is to fact check before sharing to help stop fake news spreading. It's a very simple tip that we can all do. So I obviously encourage it. So I'd like to end on a happy note. especially since research shows that mental health has deteriorated as a result of stress and worry as the COVID-19 crisis has moved on. It's coming and going, causing a lot of anxiety. So interestingly, topics like happiness and well-being are now becoming popular, and more than 2 million people have enrolled in a free online course offered by Yale University called The Science of Well-being. I know a former speaker was talking about online education. This is a great example of it. It teaches that your well-being can be boosted by socializing, helping others, and being in the present, as we are now. So thanks very much for your interest. You can search these ideas and more on IdeaSpice by category here or by word up here. You're welcome to join our IdeaSpice community so you can contribute ideas and receive the most popular in IdeaSpice Weekly. You just go up there and you can join. It's very, very easy. So thanks very much, Dr. Hafiz. I'd be very happy to take questions.
Thank you, Lynn. It was a great presentation. And now, if someone has any questions, please feel free to unmute your microphones, or you can type in the chat window as well. So I have a quick question. Like,
Right.
there are so many ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Are you making any like top picks of the week or topics of the month, picks, you know, the best picks of the months and so on? Are you doing such newsletters, a thing where people can just see, you know, the highlights, or how it works?
Yeah, we do. That's where we have IdeaSpice Weekly that goes out, and I think you're registered, so you should be getting IdeaSpice Weekly, and that has the top ideas for the week. I don't put too many in because you don't want to overload people, but probably put about 7 to 12 ideas in. And we can tell which ones are the most popular because the site tracks how many people click on the ideas. You know, because they're shared to social media, and we can tell how many times they're clicked on. And the editors can also tell for the ideas, anybody who posts an idea, including the editors, can tell how many clicks their idea has had in their profile. But we could do more. I'd love to talk to people about doing more. We did a competition earlier in the history of IdeaSpice, and we offered prizes in conjunction with actually a restaurant in Sydney, and it worked very well. So we've been trialing different things. So love to do anything that would increase the spread of these ideas, because they're so good. It's hard to keep up with them, but we're trying. There's so many. Perfect.
Madam Sabine, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead with your question. I can see in the chat. Can you coordinate?
Yeah, okay, fine. I thought I'd write this. Okay, fine. First of all, congratulations to your great idea. I like this. And I have something similar done, but more in education and awareness. But also this was inspiring lots of people to follow new ideas or to set up maybe NGOs to do something good for the planet, you know?
Yeah.
In sustainability, humanity, and in peace. So right now, what I wanted to ask you, because I have not heard your whole speech right now, and therefore is a little bit missing. Do you operate actually only over your website, or do you use also social media to distribute the ideas?
Oh, definitely we use social media. So the good thing, I could show you the, again, the share screen, if you don't mind. I'll go back to them. So you can see that all the ideas can be shared straight to your social media. So if you go on to IdeaSpice, each of these are hooked up to your social media, your personal social media.
Okay,
And
but this is right now sharing of the articles from your website. What I was asking, if you use by yourself, also under the name Idea Spice, on social media, do you have social media platforms like Facebook, Pinterest?
oh yes, sorry, yes we do. So
yeah, okay.
Thank you. So here, follow us on, that's Facebook. So you can go to Idea Spice Facebook. I don't know if it comes through here. That's the Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We've got Instagram. We've actually got a woman over in France who is doing our Instagram for us. She just contacted me and offered to do it. She's fabulous.
Oh.
She's mentioned on our About page. And yeah, so we have Idea Spice on all the social media. We even have it on WeChat, but I haven't been posting anything on WeChat.
Yeah, WeChat is Chinese. Okay, and right now, is this only just in Australia, or you operate also in other countries?
No, it's right across the world. So we have people involved from across the world. And because it's very important to keep track of ideas around the world. Our editors are only in Australia at this stage, but in the future, we'd like to have editors for different countries involved as well. It's really getting to know people and seeing how they operate, because it's very important. If you go on to Idea Spice, there will be a drop down after a few seconds for encouraging people to join. It talks about positive people with positive ideas. So it's all geared to people like us to actually join and be part of it. Very important.
Very nice.
That's the community.
Do you do this as a full-time job, or how do you finance this work?
Yeah, it's full-time because it started off, basically I was on, if you look at my LinkedIn profile, I've been on a lot of boards. I've had a very, very diverse career. And the last board I was on was an international board, which led me to travel around the world. And so therefore I was seeing lots of ideas, and that's how we got the idea for Idea Spice, which you can see on the About page. And so now we have an advisory board, and that's been set up because people want Idea Spice to be sustainable. The sustainability is a big issue. So they're saying we want it to be sustainable, and so you have to make it more commercially viable. At the moment it's free, but we're going to be testing ideas soon to make it commercially viable.
Yeah, because unfortunately I see always that good ideas get stuck by not getting fundings.
See, we haven't been focusing on that because it's been a huge undertaking to develop the platform and get the people involved, as you'd appreciate. Because it's like setting up something like a Facebook, but only for positive ideas, and a lot of them, as I said, were related to sustainability. So there's a lot involved in that. And very fortunately, one of the points about there being so many ideas around is that the barriers to entry have come down. So the costs are much less than they would have been a few years ago, many years ago. But there's been a lot of focus on developing, because originally the platform was on WordPress, and then it's come over to a bespoke platform. It's a lot more professional in look. So we've been just developing it all the time, and more people have basically come on board and want to be involved. So which is very, very positive for us, and they're lovely people.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, because I have also platforms which I have since nearly 10 years. It's quite, it's something which you do out of passion, but in the final end, there is no income streams through it, So it's really just a humanitarian act, but in the final end, you have to also to look to pay your fixed cost. And that's why I'm asking you if you have there some supporters or sponsors who support this. I mean, voluntary people you get always, but also volunteer people you have to oversee and to guide and to control, etc. So I know this out of experience because I have 200,000 members right now with me on my platforms and from all over. And there's a lot of offers in sense of voluntary work, but this is even more time consuming sometimes than doing it by yourself, And it's my experience.
No, that's great. And I have to look at your platform. I'd love to have a look at it. And we're always looking at opportunities for cooperation, collaboration, because it's a It's a very challenging, but also a very positive and exciting journey.
Mhm. Okay, congratulations. I write you my website here in the chat, and maybe you can catch up with me later on, you know, because I wanted to extend this too much. But
Yeah.
I like your idea, and I like also the motivation, and yeah, it's nice.
Well, thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, I give back to Dr. Hafiz.
Thank you, Madam Sabine. You had a great discussion. So any other questions from the audience, please? There was one comment from Madeline, like fantastic overview of the IdeaSpice platform. So she was quite happy. And just seeing if there is anything else. So did you get the website from Madam Sabine? I think Madam Sabine just
The name,
message
yeah.
to me, and probably to Lynn. You can message her as well.
Yeah. And I might just connect with you. If on LinkedIn, I'll connect with you.
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay, great.
Great. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Any other questions? No, I think we are good to go then. Thanks a lot, Lynn, for your time and for the great ideas you have presented today for, you know, sustainable post-COVID-19 future world. And I would be happy to keep in touch for future collaboration, and we'll discuss further ideas with you. So thank you very much for today.
And thank you very much, Dr. Hafiz. It's a pleasure.
Yes, pleasure is all mine as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.